Hello, and welcome to the Park Podcast, the Myers Park SGA's podcast series. My name's Carson, and I'm a senior representative here at Myers Park. On today's episode, in celebration of Black History Month, we have some of Myers Park's favorite works of literature and movies based on Black history. Let's jump straight into some of our students and faculty's amazing recommendations.
Hi, this is Mrs. Osborne from the English department. I have 4 books that I would recommend for Black History Month. The first is Passing by Nella Larson, Beloved by Toni Morrison, Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. All 4 of these books by women of color are beautifully written, compelling stories, and telling of, important events in Black history.
Hi, my name is Paige Bunden, and I really wanted to recommend the book called The Hate You Give by #1 New York Times bestselling author Angie Thomas. It's such an amazing book, and it really opened my eyes to what it is really like to be Black in America. And I'm currently reading the follow-up of that book called Concrete Rose, and I really enjoyed it so far. And I'm also reading How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi, which I also really recommend.
Hi, my name is Michaela Gathers, and I recommend Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. It's about a Black girl who attends a predominantly white school, and she learns things about racism and microaggressions, and she really learns how to navigate the atmosphere and also the importance of advocacy. I definitely recommend this book because it provides perspectives from teachers and students of all races, and it's honestly a great read. I couldn't put it down. I read it in like one day. So check it out.
My favorite book right now is Homegoing. Set in 18th century Ghana, this story follows 2 half-sisters born into different villages and watches them lead completely different lives. This story is both brilliant and heart-wrenching and has themes of family, identity, and heritage. From Ghanaian American novelist Ya Jesse, this book needs to be on everybody's to-be-read list.
Hi, my name's Anger Oxtrider, and I'm a sophomore here at Myers Park. I chose to mention the film Hidden Figures, directed by Theodore Melfi, as it not only shares the importance of listening to other stories as we continue to pay tribute to Black History Month, but also to recognize powerful women figures as we enter into Women's History Month this March.
I saw the movie Just Mercy, and it was really inspiring. It was a great story that highlighted problems that were evident in the past and are still relevant today. African Americans have been failed by the system time and time again. This movie shows the racism that is still evident in America today, and that we still have a lot of work to do. I recommend this movie because it was really interesting and educational, especially for Black History Month. Getting educated on these things is very important during these times.
Hi guys, my name is Avery Peacock. I am a sophomore at Myers Park, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite books that I've ever read. It's called The Help by Catherine Stockett. It's a story of multiple Black women that were working as maids in the 1960s for white families. I think that this book did a super good job of just really showing how racism impacted every aspect of their social lives. And I think that this is a super important book to read. I think anyone would love it. I think high schoolers especially should read it. There's also a movie on Netflix. It's called The Help as well, and I would recommend that to you all.
I saw the movie Selma, and it was really inspiring to me. It was a great story that highlighted the importance of the Black Lives Matter movement. The actor who played Martin Luther King did a great job of portraying MLK and also showed us that movements are not made by leaders, but leaders are made from movements.
I read the book 42, The Story of Jackie Robinson, which was an inspiring tale about Jackie Robinson and his life growing up through the early 1950s. Jackie Robinson was the first African-American baseball player, and he was vital to desegregating the sport and providing the opportunity for people like himself to be able to grow and play through the game of baseball. Not only was he a pivotal figure, for the sport, but he meant a lot to so many people and changed so many lives. 42, the Jackie Robinson story, really hit home to me. For someone who grew up playing baseball, I've always been fascinated by the sport and sports in general. And Jackie Robinson has always been an icon for me to look up to.
I'm Kate Bundin, and I would recommend any literature by Toni Morrison. My favorites are Song of Solomon and The Bluest Eye. They're both so well written and so interesting, and I couldn't put them down. And I would also recommend the documentary Toni Morrison, The Pieces I Am, for more insight into her life and what it's like to be a Black author in America. I would also recommend one of my favorite books of all time is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. It's phenomenal, and I would recommend that to anybody. And then also, my history teacher actually assigned this to us. Shout out Mr. Shumpert. But if you're looking to learn more about Black history, Nelson Mandela, the authorized comic book, is a great way to do that because, I know I haven't read comic books a lot recently, but this is a really in-depth comic book about apartheid and fighting oppressive systems.
And that concludes this week's episode. Thank you to all of our recommenders for your insight. It is so important to stay educated and empathetic, and to celebrate our differences. Be sure to check out some of these books and movies out. In order to stay updated with all things Mars Park, it's important to follow at Mars Park High School and at MPHS_SGA on Instagram. Also, sign up for the Mustang Express email chain to receive important information about Mars Park. You can subscribe to the MPHS PTSO website. If you have any questions you'd like to add to the podcast, you can DM either Instagram account. We'll be back later with another Mars Park High School Student Government podcast episode. We look forward to having you. Bye.